Bhakta-vrinda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Pranam.
Pranam, Prabhuji.
We'll give one more minute.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Join,
Let them join. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. We'll start. Devotees will slowly join.
Okay.
Once again, thank you for taking your time and joining us.
Yes.
Devotees, welcome to Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Today we are very happy to have the association of His Grace Murali Murari Prabhuji. He'll be sharing Bhagavata from 4th Canto, 29th chapter, verse 54. Chapter is titled Talks Between Narada and King Prachina Barhi. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please start.
Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Prabhu, it's clear, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, yes.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naranjaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamutiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 29, talks between Narada and King Prachinabari. So, let us just see what has happened so far a little, and then we'll start our today's verse. There is a discussion going on between King Prashinabari and Narada Muni. And in one particular occasion, Prashinabari is telling to Narada Muni, we could not appreciate completely the purport of your allegorical story of King Puranjana. Actually, those who are perfect in spiritual knowledge can understand it. But for us who are overly attached to fruitive activities, to realize the purpose of your story will be very difficult. That's what King Prashinabari feels. He feels he is very low. For that, Narada Muni says, you must understand that Puranjana, the living entity, transmigrate according to his own work into different types of bodies, which may be one-legged or two-legged or three-legged like that, or simply legless, transmigrating to these various type of bodies. The living entity is so-called enjoyer is called Puranjana. So the allegorical name was given as Puranjana for that. One who is engaged in devotion service has not the least fear of this material existence. This is because the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Super Soul, is a friend to everyone. One who knows this secret is actually educated. Even in Bhagavad Gita, it is stated, knowledge is what? This is the knowledge. And one thus educated can become spiritual master of the world. One who is actually a bona fide spiritual master, representative of Krishna, is not different from Krishna. That's what it's stated. So like that, the conversation going on. Here, Narada Muni going to, furthermore, apart from Puranjana, he is going to narrate one more story, which is allegorical. And saintly persons are very confidential and they will accept this type of narrations. And he's telling, my dear king, that is on verse number 33, yesterday's verse, maybe that last class verse. Please search out the deer who engage in eating grass in a very nice flower garden along with his wife. The deer is very much attached to his business and he is enjoying the sweet singing of the bumblebees in the garden. Just try to understand his position. He is unaware of that before him there is a tiger, which is accustomed to live at the cost of another's flesh. Behind the tiger is a hunter who is threatening to pierce him with his sharp arrows. Thus the deer's death is imminent. That was the last verse. Now today's verse 4 to 29 and 54. Sumanas samadharmam srinam sarana ashrame pushpamadu gandavat shudatmam kamya karma vipagajam kama sukalavam jay ya pashyati vichintanam mituni bhuyatat abhinveshtita manasam sadangiri ganasama gitvat atmanohara vanitadi janalapyasi atitaram ati pralobita karanam agrevrika yuvatat atmana ayur haritoha harito ahora ratratan kala lava visheshan avignaya graheshu viharatam prastayeva proksham anupravisto lubadavat Katanato anta sarenayam miha pravidayatam imam atmanam maho rajan binna hridayam drishtam arhasiti. So it is a very, very long, big verse in Bhagavatam itself. Sumana, flowers, sama dharmanam, exactly like Srinam of woman, Sarena, in the shelter, Ashrame, household life, Pushpa, the flower, Madhu, of honey, Gandha, the aroma, Vat, like Shaudra Tamam, most insignificant, Kamya, desired, Karma, of the activities, Vipakajam, obtained as a result, Kama Sukha, the sense gratification, Lavam, a fragment, Jihva, enjoy of the tongue, Aupashya, sex enjoyment, Adi, beginning with, Vichinvatam, always thinking of, Mithuni Bhuya, engage in sex life, Tat, in his wife, Abhiniveshchetita, always observed, Manasam, whose mind, Satangiri, of the bumblebees, Gana, the crowd, Sama, gentle, Gita, the chanting, Vat, like, Ati, very, Manohara, attractive, Vanita Adi, beginning with his wife, with the wife, Jana, of people, Alapeshu, of the talks, to the talk, Atitaram, excessively, Adi, very much, Pralobita, attracted, Karnam, whose ears are grey in front, Vikrayutha, a group of tigers, Vat, like, Atmana, of one's self, Ayu, span of life, Haratha, taking away, Aharatran, days and night, Tan, all of them, Kala Lava Viseshan, the moment of time, Avignaya, without considering, Garheshu, the household life, Viharantam, enjoying, Prasthita, from the back, Eva, certainly, Paroksham, without being seen, Anupravarta, following behind, Luttaka, the hunter, Krita Anta, the superintendent of death, Anta, in the heart, Sarena, by an arrow, Yam, whom, Iha, in this world, Paravidyati, pierce, Tam, that, Imam, this, Atmam, very self, Ahorajan, O king, Binna Hradayam, whose heart is pierced, Drashtim, to see, Arhasi, you ought, Iti, thus. Oh, what a very big verse and translation. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. My dear king, women who are very attractive in the beginning, but in the end, very disturbing, is exactly like the flower which is attracted in the beginning and detestable at the end. With woman, the living entity is entangled with ugly, lusty desires, and he enjoys sex. Just as one enjoys the aroma of a flower, he thus enjoys life of sense gratification from his tongue and his genitals. And in this way, the living entity considers himself very happy in family life. United with a wife, he always remains absorbed in such thoughts. He feels great pleasure in hearing the talks of his wife and children, which are like the sweet humming bees and collect honey from the flowers to flower. He forgets that before him is time, which is taking away his lifespan, which is passing of the day and night. He does not see the gradual diminishing of his life, nor does he care about the superintendent of the death, who is trying to kill him from behind. Just try to understand this. You are in a precarious position and are threatened from all sides. Purport. Materialistic life means forgetting one's constitutional position as an eternal servant of Krishna. And this forgetfulness is especially enhanced in the Grahastha Asrama. In the Grahastha Asrama, a young man accepts a young wife who is very beautiful in the beginning, but in due course of time, after giving birth to my many children and becoming older and older, she demands many things from the husband to maintain the entire family. At such a time, the wife becomes distasteful to every man, who accept her as her in younger days. One become attached to the Grahastha Asrama for two reasons only. The wife cooks palatable dishes for the satisfaction of her husband's tongue, and she gives him sexual pleasure at night. A person attached to Grahastha Asrama is always thinking of these two things: palatable food and sex enjoyment. The talks of the wife, which are enjoyed as a family recreation, and the talks of children both attract the living entity. He thus forgets that he has to die someday and has to prepare for the next life if he wants to be put into a congenial body. The deer in the flower garden is an allegory used by the great sage Narada to point out to the king that the king himself is similarly entrapped by such surroundings. Actually, everyone is surrounded by such family life. Much misled one, which is misled one. The living entity thus forgets that he has to return home back to Godhead. He simply become entangled in family life. Prahlad Maharaja has therefore hinted, Itamya patam graham andakupam vanam gatoya dharim ashrete. Family life is considered a blind well, antakupam, into which a person falls and dies without help. Prahlad Maharaj recommends that while one's sense are there and one is strong enough, he should abandon the Grahastha ashrama and take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, going to the forest of Vrindavana. According to Vedic civilization, one has to give up family life at the age of 50, takes vanaprastha and eventually remain alone as a sannyasi. That is the prescribed method of Vedic civilization, known as Varnashrama Dharma. When one takes sannyasa after enjoying family life, he pleases the Supreme Lord Vishnu. One has to understand one's positions in family or worldly life. That is called intelligence. One should not remain always trapped in family life to satisfy his tongue and genitals in association with his wife. In such a way, one simply spoils his life. According to Vedic civilization, it is imperative to give up the family at a certain stage, by force if it is necessary. Unfortunately, so-called followers of Vedic life do not give up their family even at the end of life, unless they are forced by death. There should be thorough overhauling of social system. The society should revert to the Vedic principle, that is, 4 varnas and 4 ashramas. Om Tatsat. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति त्रिपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवां च। श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगगण ललिता श्रीविशाखावितं च। ते कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्तुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। पञ्चकल्पतरूपस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नितिनामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। ओं महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम बतायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरत्वजे नमः। नमः ब्रह्मण्य देवाय गो ब्राह्मणेदाय च दैत्यत्याय कृष्णाय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So here a Grahastha life, how to end. Even few days back, Kristu Prabhu, who was Prabhupada's disciple, when he was giving a class, he was telling we should take sannyas at the age of 51. Where from he is taken this thing, I was wondering. 51 exactly. That was given in this purport by Srila Prabhupada. At the age of 50, we should take the sannyasa. Okay, that's for me, it's too late. Anyway, every activity performed in this material world due to the living entities trapped into the 3 modes of material nature. That's what we should understand. Lord says all is this hankering for family life mostly out of this mode of passion. There are mode of goodness, mode of ignorance, everything is there. But this mode of passion, which makes all the living entity to entrap into this. In Bhagavad Gita, Rajo Ragatmakam Vidhi, Trishna Sangha Samudbhavam, Tan Nibandati Kaunteya, Karma Sangena Dehinam. Raja, the mode of passion, Ragatma, born of desire or lust. What it means? The mode of passion is born of unlimited desire and longings. He says, And because of this, the embodied living entities bound in the material fruitive actions. The mode of passion is characterized by attraction between men and women. What it Narada Muni also explains here. Woman has attraction for man and man has attraction for woman. This is called the mode of passion. And when the mode of passion is increased, one develops the hankering for material enjoyment. When men and women are together, then the next hankering will be for the material enjoyment. You want to enjoy sense gratification. For the sense gratification, a man in the mode of passion wants some honor in the society. Next stage. From the sense gratification, it will not live like that. Then you want to honor in the society or in the nation. And you want to have a happy family with nice children, wife and house. These are the products of mode of passion. As long as one is hankering after these things, he has to work very, very hard. Therefore, it is clearly stated here that he become associated with the fruits of his activities and thus become bound by such activities. In order to please his wife, children, and society, and to keep his prestige, one has to work. There is no escape. Therefore, the whole material world is more or less in the mode of passion. Modern civilization is considered to be advanced in a standard of mode of passion. Formerly, the advanced condition was considered to be in mode of goodness. If there is no liberation for those who are in the mode of goodness, what to speak about who are entrapped and entangled in the mode of passion? Mode of passion will never allow us to get out of this material world. It is stated, Urdvam gachanti sastvata madhye distani rajasha jaganya gunavritischa adogachidam tamasa. Those who are situated in the mode of goodness gradually go upward to the higher planets. Those who are in the mode of passion live in the earthly planet, and the same place they will have to come back. And those who abominable mode of ignorance go down to the hellish world or to the animal kingdom. So we had already seen in Srimad Bhagavatam how a child in the womb of a mother prays, Soham vasan api vibho bahu dukkavasam garbana nirgamais bahir andakupe yatropyatam upashati devamaya mitu yam anu smriti chakram metat. Therefore, child is speaking to the Lord. Therefore, my Lord, although I am living in a terrible condition, I do not wish to depart from my mother's abdomen to fall again to this blind well of materialistic life. Your eternal energy called Devamaya at once captures the newly born child and immediately false identification, which is the beginning of the cycle of continuous birth and death begins. This is not just the prayer of our child. All we prayed like this. And we promised to the Lord and we broken that promise. Now we are enjoying, lording over the material nature. In that process, getting into the three modes and enjoy, suffer, and entrapped to the Mama Maya Durataya. There is no escape. Before birth, every one of us, all the child in the womb of mother, praying like this. And once we come out of it, entrapped by the three modes of material nature, we are suffering. As long as the child is in the womb of the mother, he is in a very precarious and horrible conditions of life. But the benefit of that, he revives his pure consciousness in relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In that very painful condition only, everyone can remember the Lord. That we can understand from Kunti Maharani's prayer also. Okay, please give me more and more problems so that I will be with you. But when he is outside the abdomen, when the child is born, Maya or the illusion energy is so strong that he immediately overpowered to this child. The child started feeling the body is self. Maya means illusion or that which is not. In the material world, everyone is identified with the body. This false egoistic consciousness of I am this body at once develops after the child come out of the womb. It is not today. It is taken even in our birth. The mother and other relatives are awaiting for the child. As soon as he born, the mother feeds him, everyone takes care of him, all around him make him feel that he is supreme. Living entities started getting proud by the titles of I am doctor, I am businessman, I am a president, I am my house, my car, my servant, whatnot. All these titles lead him to a maximum dambitvam, not adambitvam, dambitvam. Dambitvam is a full of pride, not a pridelessness, adambitvam. And without amanitvam, there is no humility. The living entity soon forgets his position and becomes entangled in bodily relationships. The entire material existence is entangled in the bodily conception of life. Real knowledge means to develop the consciousness of I am not this body, I am the spirit soul. That is the beginning of our learning. An eternal part and parcel of Supreme Lord, real knowledge entails renunciation or non-acceptance of this body as a self. This we'll have to learn each and every day. When we are entering into this institution, they are teaching us, I was taught, and everywhere in the future also they will be talking, we are not the body, we are the soul. But this we are not the body, we are the soul, we will have to realize every day. From the beginning of the day till to the end of the day, we will have to realize. Then only we can get out of Maya. By the influence of Maya, the external energy, one forgets everything just after the birth. Therefore, the child is praying that he prefers to remain within the womb rather than come out. It is said that Sukadeva Goswami, on this consideration only, remained for 16 years within the womb of his mother. He did not want to entangle in the false bodily identification. After cultivating such knowledge within the womb of his mother, he comes out at the end of 16th year and immediately left home so that he might not be captured by the influence of Maya. The influence of Maya also explained in Bhagavad Gita, insurmountable. But insurmountable Maya can be overcome simply by Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Mam evati prapattante maya mevatam tarandite. Whoever surrenders unto the lotus feet of Krishna can get out of this false conception of life. By the influence of Maya only, one forgets his eternal relationship with Krishna and identify himself with the body and byproduct of the body, namely wife, children, society, friendship, and love. Thus, he becomes a victim of influence of Maya, and his materialist life, his continued birth and death, become still more stringent for him. So, in this particular verse, whatever it stated, the relationship between a man and woman, how it is attracting to each other, and they are entrapped into this mode of material nature, entrapped into this Maya, and furthermore, they want prestige, so many things they are adding on. So it is never allowed them to come to the understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As these lead to confirm the living entity requires to have faith to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead and surrender unto him. That is the main purpose. So it is stated, the faith is most important. Anda pavishta sasta jnanam. The living entity forgets as soon as he quits his present body, but he begins his work again, initiated by the Supreme Lord. Although he forgets, the Lord gives him the intelligence to renew his work where he entered in the last life. So not only does a living entity enjoy or suffer in this world according to the dictation from the Supreme Lord situated locally in his heart, but he receives opportunity to understand the Vedas from him also. If one is serious about understanding the Vedic knowledge, then Krishna gives the required intelligence. Why does he present in the Vedic knowledge for understanding? Because the living entity individually needs to understand Krishna. Vedic literature confirms this. Yashau sarvair vedair giyate. In all Vedic literature, beginning from the 4 Vedas, Vedanta Sutra or Upanishad or Puranas, the glories of Supreme Lord are celebrated. By performance of Vedic rituals, discussion of Vedic philosophy, and worship of the Lord in devotional service is he attained. Therefore, the purpose of Vedas is to understand Krishna. The Vedas gives direction by which to understand Krishna and the process of realizing him. The ultimate goal is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vedanta Sutra says, confirm the following: Tattu Samanvayat. One can attain perfection in 3 stages. By understanding the Vedic literature, one can understand the relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By performing the different processes, one can approach him. And at the end, one can attain the supreme goal, who is none other than Supreme Personality of Godhead. The purpose of Vedas, the understanding of Vedas, the goal of Vedas are all same. To substantiate this, Lord explains in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya chaham hridisannivishto matasmiti jnanam apoganam cha vedaisya sarvai ahameva vedyo vedanta krit vedavit eva chaham. This we read in our Bhakti Shastri course also now. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta. I am the knower of Veda, everything. Let us see how on these aspects of family life and the thing, how Kapila Muni, when he born, he is giving his teachings to Mother Devahuti, his own mother, right? How about the householder life? What he says, Atoha grahame dhyan, dharmam eva vasan grahe, kamam martam sa dharmam swan, dogdi bhuya papattitan. The personality of God is telling, the person who lives in this end, in the center of household life, derives material benefit by performing religious rituals, and thereby he fulfills his desire for economic development and sense gratification. Again and again, he acts in the same way. There are 2 kinds of householders we should understand. One is called Grahamedi, other is called Grahastha. The objective of Grahamedi is sense gratification only, and the objective of Grahastha is self-realization. Here the Lord is speaking about Grahamedis, or the person who want to remain in the material world. His activities is to enjoy material benefit by performing religious rituals for economic development and thereby ultimately satisfy his senses. He does not want anything more. Such a person works very hard throughout his life to become very rich and eat very nicely and drink. By giving some charity for pious activity, he can go to the higher planetary system, atmosphere in the heavenly planet in the next life. But he does not want to stop the repetition of birth and death and finish with the concoction, miserable factors of material existence. Such a person is called Grahamedi. Yesterday I was watching all over Bangalore, Holi. They are celebrating Holi. Lot of the people just jumping, putting colors without knowing the purpose. The purpose of putting the color only known in Nandagaon and Barsana. What is the reason for that? But all other people locally copying that, but they are enjoying. Not only enjoying, they are taking all the liquor, this thing, that thing, shouting, all those things. You know, they misunderstood. Grahamedi, the life of Grahamedi is like that. A Grahastha is a person who lives with family, wife, children, and relatives, but has no attachment for them. This is all the ISKCON families should be Grahastha family, and it is a Grahastha family. He prefers to live in a family life rather than a mendicant or a sannyasi. He don't want to be a sannyasi, but he live in a family life. But his chief aim is to achieve self-realization. Or to come to the standard of Krishna consciousness. Here, however, Lord Kapiladeva is speaking about the Grahamedis, who have made their aim to materialistically prosperous, which they achieve by sacrificial ceremonies. They will also do sacrifice by charity. They will also give charity, and they will also do good work. They are posted in good position by that process. And since they know they are using up their assets for pious activities, they again and again perform activities for sense gratification only. It is said by Prahlad Maharaj, Puna Puna Charvicha Charvananam. They prefer to chew the chewed. They already chewed and they are again chewing. Again and again, they experience the material pangs. Even if they are rich and prosperous, but they do not want to give that kind of life. Such persons are ever bereft of devotion service due to being too attached to the sense gratification. This we should understand what is happening to the Grahamages. And therefore, although they perform various kind of sacrifice and take great vows and to satisfy the demigods or forefathers, they are not interested in Krishna conscious or devotional service. It is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Sachapi Bhagavad Dharmat Kama Muda Paranmukha Vijayate Kutubir Devan Putram Cha Sadayan Vitaha. See, in Bhagavad Gita, we can see that one who worship demigod have lost their intelligence. Kamais Tastair Vitajana. They are much attracted to sense gratification, and therefore they worship demigods. It is, of course, recommended in Vedic scriptures that if one want, that is a problem of Vedic literature. If you want money, health, or education, then you should worship the various demigods. A materialistic person has manifold demands, and thus they are manifold demigods to satisfy his senses. The Grahamages who want to continue a prosperous materialistic life generally worship demigods or forefathers by offering pinda and so on, or respectable oblations. Such persons are bereft of Krishna consciousness and are not interested in devotional service at all. This kind of so-called pious or religious man is a result of impersonalism. The impersonalists maintain that supreme absolute truth has no form and that one imagine any form as he like. For he bereft of the worship of whatever he want to worship, in that way he can imagine. Therefore, Grahamages materialistic man say that they can worship any form of demigod as a worship and of the Supreme Lord, especially among the Hindus. I don't know about others. Those who are meat eaters prefer to worship goddess Kali, that we know. Why? Because it is prescribed that one can sacrifice a goat before the goddess Kali. They maintain that whatever, whether one worship goddess Kali or Supreme Lord, they think the destination is same. This is the first class rascaldom, Prabhupada says. Okay, that is their imagination. Whoever you are, eventually you will have to leave our position one day in this material world. That we should understand. Each and every day we should realize that. In Kada Upanishad is stated, Yasha Brahmasha Shatramcha Ubevavata Vodana Mrityu Ayoshpa Chejanam Ka Itaha Veda Yatrasa. Eventually, all the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and everyone else are devoured like a meal by the Supreme. In the universal form is stated. In the universal form of Supreme Lord, all devouring giant. And here Krishna present himself in that form of all devouring time, except for few Pandavas. Everyone who present in that battlefield would be devoured by him. Arjuna was not in favor of fighting, and he thought it is better not to fight. Then he would be no frustration for him. That's what he thought. In reply, Lord is saying, even if he did not fight, every one of them will be destroyed. For that was his plan. If Arjuna stopped fighting, they would die in another way. Death could not be checked, even if he did not fight. In fact, they were already dead. Time is destruction, and all manifestations are to be vanished by the desire of Supreme Lord. That is the law of nature. Prabhupada very clearly indicates this. What Bhagavan, what he is telling, Kaulosmi Lokeshaya Krit Praviddo Lokan Samahritam Ha Pravatta. The Supreme Personality of God is telling, time I am the great destroyer of the worlds, and I have come here to destroy all the people, with the exception of you Pandavas. All the soldiers here on both sides will be slain. To attain Supreme Lord, possible only by attainment of mode of goodness, we should understand. If we continue to be in the mode of passion, there is no way. And we will go to the other lower planet. We will have to stay back in this planet only. And to reach the supreme, we should cross beyond the level of pure goodness. Even that goodness is not enough. We'll have to cross beyond goodness and go to the pure goodness stage of Suddha Sattva. Better to keep us always in the mode of goodness, then only we will get a chance to reach Suddha Sattva. Otherwise, we will not get the chance at all. From the mode of passion, we'll have to come to the mode of goodness. From there, we'll have to cross to the Suddha Sattva platform. So that it's a difficult, it's a Maya's trap. Very, very difficult to come out of it. Each and every day, we will have to think about, we should stay back in the mode of goodness. Then only one day we can go to the Suddha Sattva. So we should follow the recommendation by the Supreme Lord. In each and every activity of day-to-day activity, Lord is explaining what you will have to do, what you can do, what you should not do. Everything is explained by the Lord in Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam by his devotees. So we should follow that. To attain the Supreme Lord, possible only by attainment of the mode of goodness, and from there we'll have to go to the Suddha Sattva. So better to keep us always in the mode of goodness, which itself is so difficult in this Maya's trap. So we should follow the recommendation by the Supreme Lord in each and every activity of us day to day. And about the what Lord says about few things we can see, like food. Ayu Sattva Balarogya Sukha Priti Vivardhana Rasaya Snigdha Sthira Hridaya Ahara Satvika Priya. Food dear to those in the mode of goodness increases the duration of life, purify one's existence, and gives strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction. Such food are juicy, fatty, wholesome, and pleasing to the heart. So it is a starting point to become goodness. Goodness, how you can achieve all your mental strength, mental thinking, everything will come due to the food. Okay, food go and get digest, and then it will become. We will be thinking we are taking the food that will just go. It is become connected to the. It will become blood, and it will give the healthy. That is one part. Other part is the from the microfine. If you see that, it will become different type of air. It will become different type of air. It will go to the brain and it will going to give you the thinking. What you will have to think, it will be decided by the food. It will become a air. There are 5 types of air in the body: prana, apana, vyana, samana, udana, samana, like that. 5 airs out there, and one will go behind our this thing. It will go to they are talking about so many different type of chakras. All the it's lifted only by the air. When you go to the upper level, it can give you the different type of thinking. If you eat the sattvic food, it will give a sattvic thinking. If you eat a tamasic food, it is going to give you only tamasic thinking, right? So in that way, our starting point should be eating sattvic food. Sattvic food also 2 types. One is offered to the Lord, one is not offered to the Lord. When it's not offered to the Lord, Lord himself says, you are eating only the sin. When it's offered to the Lord, it becomes transcendental, it becomes glorified. Then if you eat that remnants of the food of Supreme Lord, then it will become a prasada. And that prasada can give you a healthier life, happiness, satisfaction, and strength. Everything it will be giving you. Beyond that, it will give you the correct thinking, correct direction in which you can walk. When you get this, sorry, my mouth is drying up due to I taken some cough syrup under the thing because of my coughing. Sorry about it. But so when you are taking the sattvic food, it will work on you. It will give you a proper understanding about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It will give the good thinking, sattvic thinking it will give. Whereas when you take into the mode of passion, you eat anything, it will give into the mode of passion. Mode of passion, once again, what is the meaning of mode of passion? It's attraction between man and woman. Mainly, that is the thing. So it will give only that feeling. how to enjoy sex, how to enjoy this thing, how to enjoy with the family, how to enjoy with the society, how to enjoy with the nation, how to enjoy everything. You will enjoy only that. Even if you go to the upper planetary system, you are going to enjoy the same thing. But you will fall down naturally. After doing your pious activity, you will go to the upper planetary system, and then you will come down again. What is the use of that? There is a so from starting from the food, Lord says, food dear to those who are in the mode of goodness increases the duration of life, purifies one's existence, gives strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction. Such foods are juicy, fatty, wholesome, and pleasing to the heart. So everybody advised to take only the prasadam offered to the Lord, right? And after about sacrifice, in the mode of passion, goodness, ignorance, Lord says in the 17th chapter, so many things, whatever it is. The general tendency to offer sacrifice with some purpose in mind. When you do a sacrifice, we got something in the mind. Okay. But here he stated that sacrifice should be performed without any desire. Sacrifice should be, you can perform the sacrifice, but without any desire for your self-satisfaction. It should be done as a matter of duty. Take, for example, the performance of rituals in temple. Generally, they are performed with the purpose of material benefit. Right? When you go to for we are going to the temple, most important. But that is not in the mode of goodness when you are going and asking for some benefit. One should go to the temple as a matter of duty. Offer respect to the Supreme Personality Godhead, offer flowers and eatables, and without any purpose obtaining the material benefit, we should worship. Everyone think that there is no use of going to the temple just to worship God. Everybody coming to the temple for what? They want something from the Lord. But worship for economic benefit is not recommended by the spiritual injunctions. One should go simply to offer respect to the deity. That will place one to the mode of goodness. If in all other way, if everybody can go and go stand in front of the Lord, ask for so many things, that is not going to put you back in the mode of goodness or a sattvic way, right? And there is no chance of you go to Sudasattva status. It is the duty of everyone, civilized man, to obey the injunction of the scriptures and offer respect to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and respect the Supreme Personality of Godhead and take his offered prasadam. Then he will be gradually, even a morsel of prasadam more than enough, right? No need of you to go and have a full meal in the temple, but take one morsel of prasadam. That is the way it is to be understood. Okay. Of the sacrifices performed according to the directions of scriptures as a matter of duty by those who desire no reward, it's in the mode of goodness. So what is the sacrifice you will have to do? According to the direction of scriptures, matter of duty, and by those who desire no reward from that. No reward. I will give that for the sake of law, not the benefit for me. It may be for the benefit of others. That's okay. But not for the benefit of me. Right? In that way, in that mood only, you will have to do the sacrifice. How to take the prasadam, we said. What type of food we'll have to take, we said. Now, what is the sacrifice we can do? We said, same way, each and every one of us, we do so much of austerities. There is austerities in the body. Consists of worshipping the Supreme Lord, Brahmana, spiritual master, superiors like father, mother, and along with it, we'll have to maintain the simplicity, cleanliness, celibacy, and non-violence. This is stated in Bhagavad Gita. Everything is there. Austerities of body consists of worshipping the Supreme Lord, Brahmanas, spiritual master, and superiors like father, mother. And see, that's why samsara dava, we say we are worshipping the spiritual master. This we will have to continue. We should not just leave it like that. Austerity means this is the thing. Austerity of the body means you will have to use your body worshipping the Supreme Lord, the Brahmanas, who are all, or Vaishnavas, and the spiritual master, including father, mother. Okay, this is the elders. And along with that, you will have to maintain cleanliness. You will have to take a bath in the early morning, and simplicity you will have to keep. You should not pose yourself as something great. Celibacy you will have to maintain. Non-violent. You should not disturb others, by words, deeds, anything. And that is coming as how you will have to speak. Austerity of speech, they say, consists of speaking words that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and not agitating others, and also regularly receiving Vedic literature. Regularly reciting Vedic literature. This is the austerity of the speech. Speaking words that are truthful, pleasing words you will have to speak, beneficial words you will have to speak, and not agitating anybody's mind. That way you will have to speak. And regularly you should use this thing for reciting the Vedic literatures, like Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita. So many scriptures given by Supreme by Srila Prabhupada. So we will have to use that. And a study of mind, which consists of satisfaction, simplicity, gravity, self-control, purification of one's existence. This is a study of mind. So we'll have to maintain our body, our speech, our mind, everything in a sattvic way. And the austerity should be properly maintained. And the sacrifice should be properly done. The food, the intake of food also should be done in the similar way. This is the way you can win over so many things. And we can go to the proper direction to where the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in the last, finally, to get a perfect self-realization, what we should follow, what we can do. Our Lord himself says in Bhagavad Gita, Lord says in the 18th chapter, Buddhaya Vishudaya Yukto Dityamanam Niyamacha Sabdan Vishayam Taikta Raga Dveshan Vuyudacha Ahankaram Balam Darpam Kamam Krodam Parigraham Vimukya Nirmama Santo Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. To reach the level of Brahman. Reach the level of Brahman. To be with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What it stated, being purified by the intelligence, Buddhaya, Visudaya, and controlling the mind with determination, giving up object of sense gratification, being freed from attachment and hatredness, duality. We should not entrap to the either attachment or hatredness. Both. We should come out of it. One who lives in a scheduled place, who eats little, who controls his body, mind, power to speech, who is always in trance, and who is detached, free from false ego, false strength, false pride, lust, anger, and greed, the way to hell. These are the three. It is stated elsewhere in Bhagavad Gita. Pride, lust, and anger. These are the things. It will lust, greed, and anger, which will lead to hell. The gate to the hell is these three things. We should not have lust. Lust is for all the material things. It is not love. It is lust. Anger. Kama yesha, krodha yesha, rajoguna samudvaha, mama suma, mama papma, vidiyeham vainam. No need of you to search for your enemy outside. It is inside you only, which is lust. Okay. So that is a prominent place. It will live in the mind. Okay. So all of us, we should understand pride, lust, and anger. Everything we'll have to eliminate. And free from the false proprietorship. I am the owner of this, I am this, I am that. All that we'll have to gradually give up and peaceful, and we can become peaceful in that way. And such a person is certainly elevated to the position of a self-realization. That's what he said. Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. Vimukta Nirmama. False ego. You will have to remove that. It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. All that you should remove. In that particular way, we can come out of the this thing. Okay. So what we discussed today, conversation between King Prachina Parishit and Narada Muni by allegorical representation, like a deer, tiger, and all those things. Okay. Further, King Puranjana. And Puranjana is a mostly allegorical representation of things what's happened around us to teach us how we'll have to behave. So Narada Muni very properly taken this, because if you directly say something, the people will get hurt by the stories of these allegorical stories. Narada Muni is trying to bring out the good out of King Prachinapari. Further, Srila Prabhupada says on attachment of Grahastha with a wife, children, and relative, he is telling how to this attachment causes the problems to all of us, and how the three modes of material nature trapping our living conditions in the mode of passion, how we are getting entrapped, that we also saw. And we saw the difference between the Grahastha and Grahamedis, how this thing going to affect us, right? And the Kala, above everything, we should always remember there is a Kala. Kala Shamasmi, Lord says, death is, there is a say in what is Shakespeare's some novel also, death thy servant at my door, like that he will say. Like Kala is act in our life, always from the starting birth to end, Kala is there. Kala will come in front of us in the end. Okay. How to maintain mode of goodness by food habits, charity, austerity, by body, speech, and mind, all that we saw. And last we saw how to transcend the mode and go to the this thing, go to the situation of Suddha Sattva, Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. Like that, we saw a lot of things today. And Om Tat Sat, I want to end here. And if there is any feedback, any advice, any anything, if I did some mistakes, you can indicate. And this way we will have to take our life by understanding from Narada Muni how King Prachinapari going to lift himself to the proper position. In the same way, we will have to understand from other story, not our own life, not required. Somebody will have to come and tell us. All these Bhagavatam is a explanation by so many great devotees, how they become great devotees. So we will also use that examples to become more and more better devotees. Om Tassat. Hare Krishna. I will end here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for the wonderful talk on how the mode of passion, which is basically the illusion and energy, entraps the living entity, and how we should try to always be in the mode of goodness. You have mentioned many more practical examples as well. Devotees can unmute themselves to share reflections, or if they have any questions, please ask Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandas Pranams.
Dandas Pranam, Prabhu.
Very nicely summarized everything, Prabhu. So wonderful. Of course. Thank you so much for your association.
So nice of you. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Murali, Murari, Prabhu. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for a wonderful, instructive class, especially the mode of passion.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
How we have to handle mode of passion in our daily life. Especially we being grahasthas in the devotional service. We have to be really cautious in not getting entrapped with the mode of passion. I think that's a key message that you shared today, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhu.
This is my own experience, Prabhu. It is always we are thinking, once enter into ISKCON, by all these, we think, as far as I'm thinking, oh, I become pure, I am getting elevated. No, not that. Most of the time we are in mode of passion only. Most of the time we are passion only. If you want to understand that, a little disturbance to your mind, it will give the reaction. Little disturbance, it will give the reaction to you. Somebody says something, we will react. We will not respond at all. We will react. That is the understanding how we are living. That's why I thought that is more importance we'll have to give day-to-day life, what we are, what we'll have to think and what we'll have to elevate. If you want to elevate ourselves, there is only one process. And that is my teaching for me, not for all of you. And those who want to take it up, they can take it up.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for sharing the realized wisdom, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So nice to
Your
hear.
experience.
Yes, Venugopal Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji.
Okay, Prabhuji, we'll conclude the class here today. Thank you again for your time. We'll conclude with Vaishnava pranams.
Yeah.
On
Panchakalpatarubhasya kripa sindhupyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo vanadevago. Ananda Kodi Vaishnavinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna.